it's not the same as every other holiday. It's not the same as Mother's.
Never, never, never die. 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 Never die.
Fuck you.
All right. It is Monday. Yesterday was Father's Day. And before we get into today's podcast, I like to thank my podcast sponsors, Everyday Fit Life, a step-by-step nutritional guide. You know what I'm saying? It's not a plan. It's the steps you need to take to develop better habits for better eating. And we're not talking about fucking changing your fucking diet, changing the food you like. It's just timing, set up, the necessities, you know what I'm saying? Things you need to know to set yourself up for success, for better habits, to just eat correctly and eat the kind of way that's going to help you lose weight, feel great, put on muscle, get in shape. And you can do this at any age. That's the best part. And also at any fitness. Every plan comes with a training that comes along with it. You guess what? You don't need the training, but it's always good to follow it to enhance the program. And if you need 30 days of help, 60 days of help, 90 days of help, everything is there. That is Everyday Fit Life. You can get a 20% off discount with my code. Everything is in the notes. Check it out. I appreciate it. All right, let's get into today's show. With yesterday being Father's Day, you know what? The Father's Day, it's like one of those holidays, you know what I'm saying? It's not pushed. It's not, it's just not high on the calendar dates for every other holidays. You know what I'm saying? Mother's Day is like one of those days that everyone goes over the moon. It's like, we're doing this, we're doing that. It's presents, it's flowers, it's all these things. And when it comes to Father's Day, it's not really that thing. You know what I'm saying? And Father's Day's played down. Father's Day's kind of just off to the side. People do celebrate Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? My kids came and saw me. I had a great Father's Day. And even for the majority of my Father's Day, it's not that I don't want anything. I just want time. I want my kids to be home. I want them to see me, visit with me, talk with me, and just physically be there. That's more of what I want. I just want time and effort. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a gift. I got gifts. Don't get me wrong. I got a sweet Bluetooth 4-probe, meat thermometer that I've been eyeing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to spend $100 on a fucking meat probe when I have a basic meat probe. But, if someone's going to ask me for a gift, guess what? That meat probe was high on my list because now I can, smoke multiple things, cook multiple things, and not have to worry about just the one probe that I own. You know what I'm saying? It's just is what it is. It's just one of those luxury items that I always wanted, but I didn't need, and I wasn't going to spend 100 on, but guess what? My kids came together and bought me that. So it is much appreciated. But Father's Day is, it's not the same as every other holiday. It's not the same as Mother's Day. And it's something that always frustrates me and makes me mad. It's just that, the recognition there for a father is not there. The recognition of what a father does is usually not there. You always hear people bashing fathers. You always hear people putting down the father's role. You know what I'm saying? Everything is against the father, and it's something that I've lived with. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just saying this because I'm pulling it out of my fucking ass. No, this is just from experience. You know what I'm saying? I've been beaten down by the court system. I've been, villainized. I fucking, I was made, and my kids were made to think a certain way about me. And the thing is I always had to prove myself. I had to prove who I was as a father. Those of my friends that really know me know how much I love them, know how much of I love being a father, know how much I've put in the effort and time for my kids. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times that gets outshined by a stigma. You know what I'm saying? That stigma is placed on fathers. That stigma is placed on the father's role. A lot of times they're like, oh, he's just a provider. He just goes to work. He just pays the bills. Like, no, that's just not it. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I didn't grow up with a father, so I never had a father figure, a father role. I had movies and I had actors that were portraying fathers that I kind of like, I wish I had that. But the thing is I used to always repeat to myself when I was a kid, I will never be like my father. I will never be like this. And I used to dwell on the things that I didn't have. I didn't have guidance. I didn't have discipline. My mom did discipline me, but not the kind of discipline that comes for her father. I didn't have fatherly advice. I didn't have fatherly words. I didn't have anyone there to do anything with me or support me. My mom was there. My mom did everything she possibly could. I hold her in the highest regard. But growing up the way I grew up and doing the things that I'd done, You know what I'm saying? If I would have had someone there that was just a father figure, you know what I'm saying? And a father figure is a figure of authority. It's a figure of discipline. It's something that I imagine and fantasize about because I didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? Even when I, reignited with my father late in life, it wasn't what I wanted it to be. You know what I'm saying? My father wasn't in a good place in any sense of the way. But, that's just what it is. But I always told myself what I wanted to be as a father and what I wouldn't do as a father. And one of those things that I always told myself that I would be is there, present. You know what I'm saying? I had to go through a lot of bullshit. I had to go through a lot of drama. And guess what? I fucked up a lot along the way. But the thing is I've worked my ass off to make up for those faults. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to be there for my kids. And, I didn't get a chance to be there 100% of the time. But guess what? I was there for my 100% of the time. Put in my time, put in my effort, put in the work. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that my kids understand what responsibility is. Make sure my kids understand what respect is. Make sure my kids understand what hard work is. You know what I'm saying? How to stand up for themselves, how to communicate, how to talk, how to be in public. You know what I'm saying? These things that, most people don't teach their kids or talk about. You know what I'm saying? I constantly talk about these things. I constantly speak to them on shit that I think they should know. Whether they hear me or not, they're listening. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing. Having a father in your life is so important. You know what I'm saying? Even in all the articles and all the fucking communication and all these things that people fucking do, having a father in your life, having both parents in your life makes a huge fucking difference. You know what I'm saying? Your kids can dramatically change and to be a better person. And the thing is, it does take a certain level of of just work and understanding. Like I said, being a father is a thankless job because we do what is responsible for us. We do what's expected of us. We do what we're supposed to do and keep ourselves quiet about it because guess what? We don't need the recognition. We just understand what the recognition will be when they're grown. When my kids are adults living their life, being responsible, fucking, enjoying life and just being productive and understanding that they get to enjoy this. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, every parent, every father wants their child to be better than them. And when they do become better than them, it's a fulfillment that we receive. You know what I'm saying? It's a delayed gratification because a lot of times we're the bad guy. A lot of times we're hated. A lot of times it's because we have to be this stern, stoic person that's portraying this facade of strength. You know what I'm saying? We're just like normal people. Fathers are just like normal people. We have emotions, we have feelings, we have thoughts, but a lot of times we can't communicate those things because we're trying to hold the weight of the world. The weight of the world is always on a father's shoulders because there's a lot to burden us, but we don't want to burden our family. We have work, we have bills, we have stress, we have anxiety. We have all these things that we try to hold up above. A father is the structure of a family. You know what I'm saying? We hold the roof, we hold the walls, and that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be a sense of security. We're supposed to be the sense of of safety and of comfort and all these things because we're there. We stand in the background. We make sure things go the way they're supposed to go and control as much as we can for our family, for our kids, for our wives, for those that we love around us. If you happen to be within the structure of a father, guess what? Really look, turn around and understand what has he done that we don't see? What does he go through that we don't understand? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when you come home from a hard day's work, when you come home from fucking, battling the fucking world out there, when your dad comes home, he takes care of the house, takes care of what needs to be fixed, helps out where he can. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, our day doesn't end when we get off of work. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't end when we sleep. We take care of all situations at all times, and that's what's expected of us. And we do it without any need of a thank you. And that's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's all about. You know, I as a father, always said I would do more than I could for my kids. I always said I would be better than my dad. I think I did pretty well. My kids are all, you know, doing well. You know what I'm saying? They're doing as good as you can and expect for a family. I love them to death and they love me to death. And it's always been hard for me to communicate that love, but I have been getting better at it. I've been better getting at showing my affection, showing my attention, showing that I care. You know what I'm saying? Being more communicative. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the new dad nowadays. We have to communicate how we feel. We have to communicate our thoughts. We have to communicate these things to our family, to our kids, because guess what? It wasn't allowed before. It wasn't approved before. You know what I'm saying? We just had to fucking suffer and deal in silence. But the thing is nowadays everyone understands. Everyone fucking gets it. We do what we can do for our family. You know what I'm saying? We have to teach them how to be these ways. We have to teach them how to be, this person that they're growing into, and understanding what communication is, understanding what fucking conversation is, understanding what dynamic of who you are in this world. You know what I'm saying? And the only way they learn this is from experience. Well, the only way they learn this is through conversation. The only way they learn about this is through example. And as you live your life as a good fucking person, doing what you're supposed to do, getting shit fucking done, handling your fucking business, and being about who you are, it subconsciously gets learned by your family. It subconsciously gets learned by your kids, and then they grow into a model of you. They're not the exact copy, but they become the person that they're going to become. But also, too, they can handle themselves in a social situation. They can handle themselves in a life situation. They can handle themselves in a business situation because guess what? They know how to conduct themselves because you've been always conducting yourself a certain way. Like I said, being a father is one of the hardest jobs. You know what I'm saying? Everyone will tell you being a mother is a really hard job too. Well, guess what? It's both ways. You know what I'm saying? Being a mom is a hard job because there's a lot of responsibilities there. But guess what? Being a father is just as hard. It's something that has to be recognized, which is not recognized. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely like Father's Day to be a little higher up there in the holiday calendar, but it is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Dads nowadays, portrayed in cartoons, portrayed in TV shows, portrayed in all these things nowadays, is no longer a strong figure. It's a weak figure. We're meant to be dumb. We're meant to be stupid. We're meant to be horrible people. We're meant to be the scum of the earth. And that's how a lot of fathers are now portrayed. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But the thing is that's not what reality is. There's a lot of great fathers out there doing a lot of great fucking things, handling great fucking business. You know what I'm saying? We're not fucking stupid. We all fucking work hard. We all put in the fucking time. We all put in the effort. And we're all goofy guys that like to have a good fucking time, make some fucking jokes, and enjoy their fucking life. But that's not how we're portrayed out in the world. You know what I'm saying? You hear all these things about, single moms taking care of their kids. Well, guess what? There's a lot of situations out there where single moms not letting their kids be with their dad. There's a lot of single moms out there that are not letting dads, be involved in their life. And they have to fight for it. And I can say that because that's what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? That was my situation. I had to fight for every moment in time that I had my kids. You know what I'm saying? Even my progression. I had 1 day a week, you know what I'm saying? 1 day every other week. And then I had 2 days every other week. And then I had 3 days every other week. And then I had every other weekend. You know what I'm saying? And so forth till I got 50-50 to where I was always with my kids. And then my boys were always with me. They lived with me. I was the custodial parent. I was the one that was taking care of them. You see what I'm saying? And this is all progression over time. You know what I'm saying? Just me being in my kids' life as much as I am in their lives didn't happen over fucking night. You know what I'm saying? When divorce and all this stuff happened, I got threats. I'm going to call the cops on you. This is going to happen. You're never going to see your kids. I lost my kids for a whole year. Didn't get to see them because I was threatened. But through the court system, through time and effort, you know what I'm saying? Going to court multiple times a year, because that's the one thing that they don't tell you about the court system is if you don't agree With a child support order, you can immediately file and go right back to court. It does take time, gets to put on the books, all that good stuff. But guess what? You immediately file and you try again. You immediately file and you try again. All you can do is ask for more time and get more time. You know what I'm saying? It takes a long fucking time. But that's what it takes. You have to fight for your family. You have to fight for your life. You have to fight for your kids. You have to fight to be a father. And that's a lot of guys out there that they're fighting to be a father and losing a hopeless battle. And then, and fucking being financially drained trying to be a dad. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it comes down to. You know what I'm saying? Because that was my situation too. All right. Barely making it, living on a fucking couch. You know what I'm saying? Not having enough money to take care of my fucking self because I had to pay, this ridiculous amount of money. I don't know how many times I've almost lost my job because I just kept going back to court and taking all this time off to fill out all this paperwork. And like I said, I didn't have any money for a lawyer. I had to go to the self-help desk and fill everything out. I had to file all the paperwork myself. I had to get someone to serve somebody and then go to the fucking court to file that paperwork so then I can have that paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there's a lot of struggle out there for a lot of guys. And I've been there, done that. I've had to do that. That was part of my life for a long fucking time. It's not fucking easy. Not fucking easy. It's not easy being a father nowadays. But the thing is, it's worth being a father. It's worth being that man. It's worth taking care of your kids. It's worth watching your kids grow up to be who you want them to be. Themselves. No stress, no drama, understanding exactly who they are, understanding exactly what they want, and doing what it takes to be successful. Like I said, it's a thankless job being a father. You know what I'm saying? Mothers get thanked all the fucking time. Like I said, Mother's Day is one of the highest days on the calendar for holidays. You know what I'm saying? I think it's Christmas, Mother's Day, or Christmas, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day. I don't even know where. I know it's low on the list for Father's Day. But it's a thankless job. I don't expect anyone to fucking care, but I do expect it to be recognized. It just is what it is. I think it would be so much better to be recognized a little more on the Father's Day than fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, I even think I seen a meme where, Father's Day, fathers eat free at Chick-fil-A on Sunday. Chick-fil-A ain't open on Sunday, but like I said, it's funny, but that's how Father's Day is portrayed. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. I'm not asking for the world, but just a little bit more recognition on all the good fathers out there that are really fucking taking care of business. Because us good fathers out there, guess what? There's a lot more of us than you think. There's the shitty ones stick out, and that's not on us. You know what I'm saying? That's on the world for promoting that. So guess the fuck what? This is the Angry Motherfucking Dad. Thank you guys for watching my shit. I'm also part of the Inner Circle Podcast Network, a group of powerful podcasters out there sharing their shit. That is innercirclepn.com. We'll take you to every one of our websites, every one of our shows. Make sure you check it the fuck out. We have shows as The Hood Diner, The Plunge, Failing Hollywood, Simmons and More, The Untrained Eye. Shit happens when you party naked, so make sure you check it the fuck out. And I'll see y'all motherfuckers on the next one. Fuck.
Always living, always living, always living, always living, always living, always living.